If one day you hear someone call your name from behind you, in a room you know for certain you're alone in, don't turn around. I turned around, and it's the one thing I regret most in my life. My name's Rick. I was 24 that year, fresh out of college, struggling to find work in my field. To cover bills, I took a night security job at a logistics warehouse on the outskirts of town, one that stored electronics waiting for distribution. The job was simple: shift from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., 2 patrol rounds a night, and the rest of the time sitting in a small guard booth by the gate, watching the cameras. The warehouse sat far from any residential area, surrounded by empty fields and a few abandoned factory buildings. During the day, it was completely ordinary, but at night, the whole area went pitch dark, except for a sickly yellow sodium light spilling over the cracked concrete yard. Inside were 3 rows of shelving stacked almost to the ceiling with cardboard boxes, and a long corridor leading to what everyone called the cold storage, a space that used to hold frozen goods but had been empty for years, sealed behind a heavy steel door that stayed locked at all times. For almost 2 months, everything was fine. Just the occasional rat scurrying through the shelves, the tin roof creaking as it cooled at night. Normal stuff. Every night guard gets used to sounds like that, until the 51st night. That night, I did my first patrol around 11:30. Everything looked normal until I passed row number 2 and caught a strange smell. Metallic, faintly like blood, mixed with something damp and moldy. I swept my flashlight around but found nothing out of place. Just boxes stacked neat as ever. I figured it was probably some old pipe somewhere and headed back to the booth. Around 1 a.m., while I was watching the monitors, camera 4, the one covering the corridor right in front of the cold storage door, glitched out for exactly 3 seconds. Not a full signal loss. More like something was pressed right up against the lens, warping the image. After 3 seconds, it cleared. The corridor was empty. I told myself it was a technical glitch, an old cable, but something in my gut wouldn't settle. At 2:15, I went out for my second round. Near the cold storage door, I heard a faint sound, like fingernails tapping against metal. Talk, talk, talk. Steady, slow. Coming from inside a door that had been locked shut for years. I froze. My hand was shaking so hard the flashlight beam trembled across the rusted steel surface. I leaned in closer. I knew I shouldn't, but my body moved on its own, some morbid curiosity taking over. Talk, talk. Then silence. I stepped back, heart pounding, and ran straight to the guard booth, locking the door behind me even though I knew it wouldn't mean anything. I sat huddled in the booth, trying to calm down by checking the cameras again. Monitor 4 showed the corridor empty, the cold storage door still shut. Then I heard footsteps, not from the camera, from the hallway just outside the booth. Slow, evenly spaced, like someone trying hard to walk quietly, but the concrete floor still gave off a dull thud. Thud with every step. I held my breath, eyes locked on the small window in the booth door. The hallway light outside flickered twice, then went dark. In that darkness, I heard a voice. A man's voice, hoarse and broken, pronouncing each word strangely, as if unused to speaking at all. Rick, hey. My scalp went numb. No one at this warehouse knew my name except the manager, and he'd left at 9 p.m. I tried to convince myself it was exhaustion, fear playing tricks on my mind, but the voice called again, closer this time, right behind me, even though my back was against the wall, with no space behind me at all. Rick, turn around. And I turned around. Nothing there, just the bare wall, the clock still ticking steadily. But the instant I turned back toward the window, I saw a figure standing right up against the glass, its face pressed close. No face at all, just a patch of solid darkness, pale at the edges like spreading mold. 2 hollow sockets where eyes should be, holding nothing but thick, dense black. The figure stood there for exactly 3 seconds. The same 3 seconds the camera had glitched earlier, then dissolved like smoke scattered by wind. I passed out right there on the spot. I woke up at 5:30 a.m., curled up on the floor of the booth. The hallway light outside was on, completely normal, as if nothing had happened. I quit the next day, no explanation, just told the manager there was a family emergency. 3 months later, I ran into a former guard who'd worked that same warehouse before me. When I told him what happened that night, his face went pale. He told me that before I started, there had been an accident in the cold storage room. A worker got trapped inside during an inventory check. No one knew. The door had locked automatically on its scheduled maintenance cycle. They found him 3 days later, dead from the cold, his fingernails torn to shreds from clawing at the door from the inside. According to my friend, the worker's name was also Rick. I never dared ask for more details, and I never went anywhere near that place again. But even now, sometimes late at night, when everything goes too quiet, I still hear it. Somewhere far off, that same tapping on metal. Tock, tock, tock. Even though I'm dozens of miles from that warehouse. If you've ever worked a night shift, ever felt like someone called your name when there was no one around, tell me about it in the comments. Your story might be just as chilling, and I might tell it in my next video.